Okay, getting ready to start the wiring on this. I've already gone through and pre-done a lot of the stuff. Everything, I've got everything individually done individually. Just mostly terminated all of the ends of everything, or not terminated, but got everything set where it's at, and everything's all separated. Believe it or not, this is all it takes right here to run an LS engine. There's everything is there. Let's see. So the only thing that isn't there is the starter relay or solenoid, I guess, wire, and I think that's it. Everything else is in there. Anyway, I'm gonna get fitting all of this stuff, and I've got to get a hole in the firewall, and then I'll start shortening all this stuff. So I left everything long. I'm gonna end up trimming it down and re-terminating it once it's inside in there, so that everything is nice and tidy. Yeah, that's about it. So this is how the engine's going to be sitting. It's actually mounted in there. I've got a jack holding up the back, keeping the angle right. So I'm just going to go through the firewall back there, where it's kind of all hidden, and yeah, it should be pretty easy, pretty quick this way. So alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm kind of tying together some of these little the pigtails, I guess, into a common harness, I guess. So the coils and the injectors I leave separate from each other and from everything else. It's kind of a good idea to keep that stuff separate. On this, it's not that big of a deal, but like race car stuff, you'd want it separated. So the alternator wires, not the power wire, just the wires that excite it. Coolant temp wire, I'm going to be joining with the let's see, this is the intake, this is intake air temp, and then the throttle body wires, drive-by cable stuff. So what I'm doing here, I'll plug these in here, maybe, if I can get it. Well, anyway, so this will sit just down in there like that, and then it's going to join this right there. So what I did, just to join those two together to keep this nice and tidy, so it's down, going down here, is I ran a piece of shrink tube over that to tie them together, instead of using something like a zip tie or something like that, which that stuff is fine. But I've got, as you can see, I've got rolls and rolls of this stuff. Now this is not a this is not shrink wrap that's got adhesive on the ends, like here. That stuff's all got adhesive because you want it to hold those wires really well and hold this. This is just to basically just to hold the two wire bundles together. So I'm running stuff that's not got adhesive in it because it doesn't need to hold so tight, and it would, like, if I move this stuff at all, I'll need to cut that stuff off, and I'll want it to come off cleanly off of this sheathing stuff here. So I'm gonna put another piece of shrink over this to tie those two together, and then I'm putting another piece, a bigger piece of this stuff here, to combine them all and run them back to the firewall. So also, you can see where I've got my hole there. I forgot to order firewall boots, so that's the right size for the firewall boot. So this wiring project won't be complete yet, but I'm getting them in there and getting them sized and getting all this stuff set up. Okay, here's that whole bundle together. All right, there it is like that. Now it's all tucked in underneath there. For anybody that's wondering, this is actually just a junkyard harness that's been reworked. All right, slight change of plans. 2 holes, 2 spots to go through. It was starting to get to be a lot of stuff going through the one hole, so I decided to break it up to driver side, passenger side. So that's how I'm gonna do it. All right, here's the mess. Now I gotta cut it down. I'm gonna figure out where I'm gonna mount the ECU, and I'll put a fuse box in there also. Figure that out and shorten all the wires to that. All right, wiring harness. Here is the LS swap wiring harness. Mostly done with this. I'll have to tie into fuse box in a few places and some grounds. But yeah, the motor side of everything is pretty much done. This turned into kind of a rat's nest. I'm not sure if I'm gonna fix that or not. As nice as the rest of it came out, I really want to fix it, but at the same time it's gonna be just completely covered up by center console and everything else, and the only time I'll ever even see it is if I'm in there doing work. So I don't know, I'm kind of torn, because I thought I was doing it good, doing it on the bench and having wire dimensions for everything, but it turned out like that. So whatever, the rest of it, everything that'll be showing looks great. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. So I got a couple of studs I welded onto the firewall, and then a couple of nuts up here. ECU is going to sit right here. Fuse box, bus bar for grounds will be mounted to this. They'll be mounted to a plate, and the plate will be mounted to this stuff. So that's how I'm doing that.